I was 9 years old when I knocked on doors for Barack Obama when he was running for president for the first time. I then knocked on doors for Cory Booker when he was the mayor of Newark when he was running for Senate. I was then at the 2016 Democratic Convention as a Bernie bro. I then supported him in 2020. I volunteered for the Jamal Bowman campaign. I took knees for Black Lives Matter. I marched at the Supreme Court when Roe v. Wade was overturned. So I have some degree of credibility or legitimacy, rightly or wrongly, to be able to talk about the left. But the big wake-up call for me was October 7th, less to do with the Middle East and foreign policy, and more to do with, I always say the story of October 7th is not the story of October 7th, because Hamas is a dictatorial, tyrannical regime that obliterates the emancipation of women, that throws gays off of buildings, but they're also terrorists. And definitionally, terrorists commit acts of terrorism. It's bad. We don't like it. There should be a forceful response. But again, it's what they do. You know, Hassan Nasrallah, the since deposed head of Hezbollah, he couldn't make it today. He sends his apologies. He had stated for years it would be great for all the Jews to pack up and move to Israel because, in his own words, it would be more convenient to kill you in one location than having to hunt you down country to country. So again, when terrorists commit acts of terrorism, bad, but it's to be expected. The story of October 7th, therefore, is the story of October 8th, because I can show you screenshots of the Harvard student WhatsApp group before they kicked me out, of literally on the night of October 7th, as Jewish women like Naama Levy were bleeding from their private areas, Jewish babies like 9-month-old Kfir Bibas were being hoarded onto motorcycles by Hamas terrorists and deported into Gaza, as 48 American citizens were being butchered at a music festival. The immediate reaction of 34 student groups at Harvard University, from the Feminist Society to the Muslim Student Association to the Bengali dance group, who are terrible, both in terms of morals and their dancing abilities, their immediate reaction was to jump out of bed, and they drafted a statement blaming Jews for the largest massacre of Jews since October 7th. And in the WhatsApp group in particular, students were posting images of Hamas commanders standing on top of bodies with the caption, "Victory is ours, globalize the Intifada." And I'm embarrassed to admit that it took until October 7th for me to wake up and realize that the exact individuals and groups that I marched with and I allied myself with and I voted for were quite literally the very first people to call for the eradication of Western civilization. They were the very first people to side with terrorists that, as I said, killed 48 Americans and abducted 12 more Americans. They were the exact first ones to do it. All of the progressive liberal groups that I allied myself with for the entirety of my young adulthood, they were the first ones to call for the death of America. And I know ostensibly we often talk about anti-Semitism, but as we were saying earlier, anti-Semitism is a symptom of a much greater societal ill, because it's true. At Harvard, they burnt my Israeli flags. They also burnt my American flags. And yes, it's true, they vandalized our hostage posters. They also vandalized the hostage...
Did you have any flags that they didn't burn?
No, I don't have any more. They vandalized our hostage posters, but they also vandalized the hostage posters of American citizens. Hirsch Goldberg Poland, Keith Siegel, Omer Nutra. As I said, yeah, it's true, they called for the death of Israel. They also called for the death of America. I was 9 years old when I knocked on doors for Barack Obama when he was running for president for the first time. I